I like to talk about cult classics, and I think I'm gonna talk about Sayonara Zetsubou Sensei, or Goodbye Mr. Despair, since we're all in despair sometimes. Um, this series has triggers, mainly suicide, so if you don't feel comfortable with that, that's okay. Um, I've been itching to talk about this series for some time. Mainly because I finished this script on my other phone, but it didn't transfer. And now, let's get into the anime. The series starts with Nozomu Toshiki going to hang himself, but he's saved, albeit almost killed, um, by a high school girl named Kafka Fura. Yes, I looked it up on the spelling. um, but in the end, he lives and goes on to teach his classes, mostly girls. They're all varying in different personalities and backgrounds, so I say that's what makes the series and gives it its charm. Um, like the Hikikomori, Kirikomori, who chooses to stay inside the school because she doesn't like to go outside, or Kaere Kimura, who's the transfer student who will sue you and who easily gets hurt. Or Meru Otonashi, who is vicious in her text and only communicates by text. Or my boy, Jun Kudo. Kudo-kun is the best storyteller. The cast is really, really fun. If this cast is appealing to you or sounds appealing, go watch the anime and potentially read the manga if you want some darker stuff. You come back yet? Good. And more colorful characters later appear in the anime. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. Now for manga spoilers, where everything is fine. The manga is kinda different than the anime. Especially with the mystery of the, like I said, various characters with their mystery with a connection to the main cast. Like the top hat guy, why is he so obsessed with Otonashi? And we all know not everything is what it seems. Like Abiro Otonashi, Abiro Kobushi, from who we know from episode 1, is portrayed as a DV victim, but it turns out she just likes pulling animal tails and as a horrible athlete. And there's gotta be a reason Majiru hasn't seen his father in all the manga series. It's almost unlaughable. Like, and there's a dark undertone that Koji Kumeta manages to deal with these situations where you can do nothing but laugh or are just funny. if we're that kind of person. Which yeah. So this is where it gets heavy. So spoiler will trigger warning again. So Nozomu's class, it's revealed that they survived a mass deletion attempt because of Kafka and her death of a tragic car accident. She caused her to donate her organs and is too positive to die, quote unquote. In turn, all the girls are proxies for her, and they get possessed by Kafka, one girl at a time. And like the scientific explanation is like, if once you get like a simple blood transfusion, you gain traits of the person who donated like their body to you. So I assume that's what's happening. And they could see, they could always see her. And Nozomu's brother, Makoto, explains it in detail, but I forgot the reason why they can all see her. So all the girls, at least the main girls, have a part of Kafka in them, but literally. And as a side effect of her, as a side effect of personality of her to an extent, it is revealed that Nozomu is not a teacher but an exorcist that is there to help them graduate. And they all move on to an isolated island, and Nozomu marries each and every girl. Each girl, depending on what day it is, that Kafka is possessing them. It's not polygamy. He divorces and possesses like each girl that is possessed. Oh my gosh, my brain is yeah. So all the children look like Kafka in the end. So is this hope or despair? Whatever your opinion on the manga is, well, the manga end is, it's no what Nozomu wished for, or an extent to it. My thoughts, for the longest time I thought it was the happy end, but through years, like, I gone back and forth through it, because it's still not Kafka, and to like, and it's still a despair end, because he's living in escapism, because the real Kafka can never return. To the lesser extent, think about a breakup, or it doesn't have to be a breakup. It can be a falling out with a friend or family member. Of course, in this situation, I may clarify, it will leave you destroyed, but of course, not to an extent of a death, like something as tragic as that. You two can later make up, but it depends on how you go about it. Of course, things will never be the same, but if you're nihilistic, things will go against your favor from the get go. Heck, they may bleed into the people around you and bleed into you. But if you're optimistic, vice versa. That's why my opinions so drastically changed and shifted. Whether Nozomu is in despair or he's finally have had the happy ending, Kafka isn't fully here. But in an extension of her might be here via proxies and children, but they're not Kafka, and that's the more sad in my opinion. Or I might be wrong.